I'm back, baby! What, you didn't know I was gone? That's okay, I had a week off, played some Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and now as stated, I'm back, baby! If you want to support my work I do entirely alone so I can afford a week off and to play a game, check out Patreon below. Now the guards are still actively trying to stop Luffy from doing what he wants here, as it would have been easy for Oda to pretty much just let them have the run of the place by this stage. Ivan really coming in handy with the physical strength aspect on display right here. I'm sure someone will point out that he's done this 600 times in the past, but I'm still giving it a win for being a brand new attack and a good one too. The first not running on the spot of the video.
Level 6.
And the fact that they finally made it to level 6. One of those times where I just have to give her mad props for the insane effort she puts into voicing Luffy. In true One Piece style, we're gifted with another not running on the spot so close to the last and equally as impressive. Damn, of course they've moved him! I'm legit annoyed at myself for not considering that. These two meeting for the first time feels like a big moment, especially since, as I've mentioned before, I know he later joins them for a long time, given I saw him listed on Mal as a main character. Not running to get Ace on the spot. Yari! Man, they are doing everything they can to try and slow down or stop Luffy, and I hadn't expected this little trap, I must say. Glad that he's here, really, because he's thinking on his feet very quickly, like here, where Luffy might not do so, and also turning the occasional dude into a lady. I keep on getting more and more shocked, and now it's building into a heck of a JoJo situation. The situation positively reeks of JoJo now. That was brilliant. Reminded me of Luffy being lectured by Usopp in the cage in Arabasta and knocking himself out on the bars. He continues to be hilarious. Says so much about Ace that when he's thinking his brother may get taken prisoner at any moment, that he turns around and starts to fight for him. Damn, that was amazing. That size and strength difference when Ace is already hurt and cannot use his devil fruit power though. Back to an old school win for this series, not everyone being aware of everything at all times. So naturally, he's insanely confused how Luffy is back up on his feet. I love it! It literally went for his voice. It's so good.
Hello.
Glad this guy survived, to be honest. Yes, he's against them, but still, he's just doing his job. I ain't never gonna stop winning these moments. Another brand new and unique devil fruit ability? Well, that was handy to have as a power, and I dare say he was probably the one making exits and entrances when they needed to get food and drink and info from the rest of the place. Oda gets a win for doing something I just hadn't considered. Luffy is definitely not stopping his brother's transfer here and now. I truly had not expected that. Slight rotating shot, but mainly Luffy stating this, his next big adventure within this most excellent saga. That music. That statement? Wow.
ここを抜けたきゃ俺を解放しろ。俺ならこの天井に穴を開けられる。
Two single wins here. First of all, seeing and hearing from Crocodile again for the first time in hundreds of episodes. But also it's a favourite of mine when former enemies turn into allies, even if only for short periods of time. It's one thing I love, for example, in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I'm rewatching for the 6th time right now.
久しぶりだな、麦わら。
That ending totally gets one too. Let's friggin' go!
もうシャバに出たところで面白みはねえと思ってたが、白ひげと海軍が戦争を始めるって？
Him having quite an interesting reason for wanting to escape here beyond the obvious. I thought that was a nice touch befitting his unique personality.
ふざけんな！お前はビビの国をめちゃくちゃにしたやつだ！
昔の話だ。
At the same time, it perfectly fits Luffy's personality to initially turn him down, given everything he did back then to both he and, more importantly, to his friends.
ちょっと昔ね、こいつがまだルーキーと呼ばれてた時代。大丈夫よ。
It's legit wild when you hear about people on the level of Crocodile being referred to as a rookie at some point.
Death Wing!
I gotta say, the fact that he's so much more powerful than he seemed initially is crazy to me.
わしも連れて行ってくれ。必ず役に立つ。エースさんを救いたいのだ。
I continue to keep on loving it. Ideally, both he and Crocodile will end up helping them to escape. It's so good. He's really not messing around, is he? Super quick reaction. Damn, son, there's me thinking, cool, but probably not overly useful. And then he breaks it here and snaps off the chains like it's no big deal. Definitely super useful.
元も含め七部会2人と。
And it's so sick.
クロコボーイ、マナータの格好。
A good way of keeping him in check right now, because, for context, he and the other warlord were on the cusp of fighting.
突入しろ!
Oda keeps putting it in, I'm gonna keep giving it wins, that the prison staff are continuously putting into action plans against Luffy and the others.
見ろ、おめえら、俺がいねえと何もできねえ。
I had totally forgotten about this guy, so very much hype.
なんとクロコダイルにジンベエだと
Probably gonna be the last time I win him for it, unless something big happens, but I've just found his voice acting work to be so damn good and funny as hell. So sad he passed away, man.
間違えて股間に刺してみる。
ニューカマーランデュー坊ちゃん死ぬな
Equally stupid. But also unexpected.
レベル5から1にかけて囚人たちをどれだけ解放できるかにかかってみる。
Very clever, I think, to use his people, who are not powerful, to unlock cells of people with powers to create an army slowly making their way to the top.
さあ行くわよ、麦わらボーイ。あら。
The fact that they added in Luffy's footprints as he took off during the speech. Realistic way to keep Ace in custody here, especially after the recent escape attempt, or attempt, to get to Luffy anyway. I struggle to get over the sheer size of these massive doors.
今朝10時前、処刑は午後3時。その時刻には処刑は必ず執行され。
You just know these 5 hours are going to be painful, ensuring they get to him on time, and I am so here for it. Totally reminds me of a later arc in Hunter x Hunter 2. Think I mentioned that before.
3時まで殺されることはねえんだなとにかくまだまだチャンスはある
He just brought up a great point though, to be fair. That Whitebeard wouldn't wait until 3 PM. He's clearly going to do something way earlier than that. Oh my word, I'm so stupidly hyped for this. It's funny how in this show a villain's power can go from me hating him because he's so strong against our crew to me being so happy he's on our side, due to his power.
こちらレベル4。レベル6より逃れた囚人、七部会ジンベエ。
These guards still reporting on everything. I totally spaced on this part of his power as well. Now he's on our side. This guy is friggin' legit. Nice touch to have their clothing rapidly fall apart as well, as I'm guessing without any moisture, they basically aged dozens of years within seconds. I'm gonna call that another new move, and you can all shout at me in the comments.
Gyojin Karate!
Yet another brand new and unique Devil Fruit ability! Unexpectedly sick looking art style change. The mere fact alone that he thought it was good news, when that's how he sounded. Catching up with these two yet again and these very weird creatures, although my guess is they're going to run into Luffy and of course Crocodile. That'll be interesting for Mr. 3.
どうだ俺と来るかミスター1付き合いましょうあんたになら
I had also forgot that we saw him earlier on, and he's a very powerful guy like Bon in his own right. The best continues to get better. Everyone's still responding absolutely en masse to what is going on down there.
何か通信も聞こえたがね。国内で何か起きたかね。
Such a clever use of his ability, I swear.
レベル2で何やらコソコソ動く人影が見えます。囚人のようです。ブルゴリを戻してください。抑えきれません。
I love it, man. I really do. They're making their way down, only to find out that back up on level 2, there's massive issues yet again. They're really up against it now. Speaking of voice acting, I gotta give him one more for doing Bon. It's so funny. Might sound strange, but I feel for him a little here. Like, everything is now going so poorly. Riot's back up on level 2, then super powerful foes on level 4. It's so good! So many former enemies and allies meeting back up here. His ability is so wild though. There's me thinking it just makes his head huge, but no, it massively amplifies his wink attack too. There are few things more cool than seeing Crocodile turning into sand to attack and then reforming away from them like that. What an insane group of allies! That art style change though. Made for quite the heartbreaking scene there with the music.
島のどこを探しても王家七部会黒ひげの姿がありません。
The bestest is bettered once more. Blackbeard has taken off to who knows where, and right as they are expecting an attack from Whitebeard any moment now.
インペルダウンに今着工したと。何？
Oh my word, we basically just got told that he went there.
本部に確認を入れているところで。
なんだって構わねえ味方じゃねえかよ
Shows you just how scared they are of him. They basically said, no, you can't come in, and he just walks on by them. Getting to see Blackbeard's power on display again in a much different way to when he used it during the battle against Ace before.
俺は政府側の人間だぜ
Love his voice as always, but the bulk of the win is because just as our crew seems likely to bust out pretty easily, now they've got these in the way. Perhaps even more shocking is that I haven't the faintest clue what he's up to. He joined the government and has already destroyed that pact, but why? This moment which sums up what enemies he's facing and what floors they're currently on. Of course, he's just freaking out because the odds are now stacked against him massively.
モニター室に戻っておかき食べないか？
お気を確かにインペルダウンを守るのだ。
This guy is just the best, this arc, I swear.
今レベル2だ。暴れ出したバカどもの処置を終えた。
Couple wins here. Firstly, I kind of spaced on him still being around, plus the fact that he's put down the riot on level 2 already. Secondly, it's her still being in the anime.
黒ひげの襲撃の意味は全くわからんが、もう手は打ってやる。
One of those really weird moments where I'm totally split in how to feel. I want Magellan to take on Blackbeard instead of Luffy and the others, and for him to win!
不本意ながら、支流を解放することにした。
We can't take much more of this, I swear. So now he's let out his former number 2 guy to deal with Blackbeard. Like, how strong is he?
マジで？
Man, oh man. Talk about a voice actor beautifully fitting the animation on screen.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Now he's all full of love for the Warden. I don't think Luffy has ever managed to catch so many people in one single attack before now. Dude is a huge badass. Reminds me of old M. Bison from Street Fighter 2. He only went and took out his own men. Hot damn, what an ending. That totally deserves one more.
脱獄の大チャンスよ。一緒に行きましょう。
This lady's still being in the anime number 2. He's even able to take these guys on fairly easily.
ここから先は、この子たちが一歩も進ませやしないわ。
And I do believe for the third and final time this video, this lady still being in the anime number 3.
俺たちは人呼んでユーカー武道派6人衆
A small but still very nicely done rotating shot.
この子たちを、なめんじゃないわ。
I still struggle to get over the way she talks too.
ブルス
3 great attacks that require 2 single wins. Firstly, it's Crocodile, and this dude's big attacks on their foes, showing the huge strength difference. Secondly, it's Luffy's giant attack, so good it scored its own win. Gotta hand it to the guy, it's yet another brilliant use of his ability. That poison really does seem overpowered. I look forward to seeing what could end up beating him.
あいつがマゼランかマーシャル DT 値
Oh, here we go. Let's see how strong this guy actually is.
頑張れ頑張れ所長。ヘイ所長。バンガレバンガレ所長。
It would be such a shame to just skip past this without dropping a win. To her credit as a character, she's clearly stronger than her demon pets that she uses, as is shown here. Pretty decent how he could use something like this to become far more nimble for this fight against her. Classic Oda making each ability seriously varied in its many uses. Am I weird for enjoying what is quite an old sense of humor in Japan like this? This is sick, and it's even more interesting, because Bon used a trick to beat him, so I wonder how a fair fight will actually go down.
誰だ？
Luffy not automatically knowing someone he never met. The guards attacking back and in rather inventive ways, such as these nets stopping them from moving and using their powers if they hold any.
レベル3へ登る階段には
Even if some of them may be repeats, it doesn't stop it from being a gigantic crowd shot all the same.
どけ。
やだね
One small rotating shot and I'd probably continued on past it, but you gave me 2 of them and thus earned yourself a win.
ー。般若発のダンス超熱地獄車
To his credit, he's way stronger than his previous goofy self would have indicated. It's such a simple thing, the stance and the effect, and yet when I see and hear it, it gets me so damn hyped up for what's coming. For me, an anti-anime win there, because I hadn't expected him to take that kind of damage so early into the fight. We all know that usually he'd have somehow blocked that or whatever. Just when things are already getting tough, he's made his way down there. Small win, but having his strides be much smaller than the normal-sized guards was a nice touch.
こんなにあっさり副所長なのに情けない
Oh my word, super weird feeling, but I legit felt really sorry for him there all of a sudden. Seeing their early days together from 20 years ago was such an unexpected joy.
賞金5000万ベリーの女海賊ミス・オリーブだ
Well, that is insane. Moving on.
バカな男。
まったくだ
Finding out how she, very logically, was able to seduce him and how Magellan luckily came along to help, although he basically fell for the warlord's charms himself earlier. Gotta hand it to the guy after seeing that backstory. I kinda hope he holds up Luffy for a bit. How bad is that? Damn Oda, what are you doing to me? 3 large crowd shots. And the wild thing is, it's clear he's no match for Luffy at all, but it's his willpower keeping him on his feet.
待て
邪魔するな。
Some quick but very nice animation on that part of their fight. This arc is insane with the crowd shots, man. Seriously interesting that Blackbeard can do this? Doesn't bode too well for Magellan in a fight.
僕が消えてますなんだって
Love his voice and reaction so much. And they're all gonna think he somehow did it as well.
何が兄貴を助けるだ社会のゴミがきれいごと抜かすな一歩も出さん
I feel like I'm going insane. I'm actually rooting for him now. And now here we go. Blackbeard has made his way down here, and we can finally find out what his plans are. Perhaps even more shocking is that he got there quicker than Magellan could. So random. Felt bad seeing him go down like this, especially after his whole speech of right and wrong and protecting people from pirates. We know it's deeper than that, but what a great speech!
あいつが現れなかったら本来死んでたの麦わら
That's a crazy twist of fate, really. That's the reason he was going after Luffy way back then, to make a name for himself, that he ended up making when he took down Ace instead. Oh, hell yes, Luffy is getting into gear for an attack on him, baby!
Get Pistol!
Oh my goodness, what an attack to end the episode, plus one more flying at your faces! We can't just go and ignore the excellent looking art style change there as he blasts him either. Let's go! It's actually really sick to just see a villain in a lot of pain after getting a huge attack landed on them. Feels like in a lot of other anime, everyone takes pain with a pinch of salt. I'm good.
Get
Damn man, you only went and got Luffy with the same move he used on Ace during their fight. The former warlord and Bon having so much clear concern for Luffy. And that attack I had to sadly include. Showed how much damage he could inflict when you really can't defend yourself during the attack. Says a lot, I think, that he jumped in the way. He knows Luffy cannot beat him right now, and furthermore will only get injured more and more during the fight, no less.
ダメだルフィ君、何が先だ。よく考えるんじゃルフィ君。感情に任せて今戦ってもエースさんの救出には繋がらん。
Heck yeah, exactly what I just wrote. For context, this is what I was talking about when I wrote he will only get more and more injured, meaning he won't be fit enough to get to Ace.
せや想像以上に強えな。
Another thing I love in One Piece is how injured and out of breath he is here. After one hit, I always feel like another shonen, it'd be back to fighting form suddenly. Oda really is built different.
自らが欲した七部会の称号をむざむざ捨てる行為だぜこりゃ。
It's so good. Only One Piece, with its massively long story, can afford to suddenly, potentially, put up a former main villain against a new main villain in Blackbeard and have it be so exciting.
マゼランとうとう現れたか。
I'm adding another one for this, because it's basically the same as the last win, but equally as awesome. The idea of Blackbeard now fighting Magellan. Two wins here. Firstly, that turning of the head looking real badass, and not to mention the animation aspect of it. But also, we got the fact that Luffy didn't immediately run upstairs in spite of being told to. He's still internally going over it, no doubt, and has now decided, I would guess. There's always so many crowd shots that I can't ignore them. I just think people poured so much time into them. That's a bit of a blast from the past. He was Luffy and Bond's foe ages ago, back on level 3, I want to say? I just adore how Bond hears info about how they ate devil fruits, and that's why they're so tough, and then starts doing this.
海軍本部および政府機関への連絡ツールを全て断たれました。
Speaking of anti-anime, we again all know in any other story, the warden letting him go to fight for them would 100% result in him fighting for them, but not here.
通信が途絶えました。
誰か確認に向かわせろ。
As much as I hated him, I'm also kinda in awe of his own ability to retain order in this prison, even with simple orders such as this. I guess I'm saying it feels way more real than expected.
空島はあったろ。
Well, there's me insanely shocked because I did not think he would just let Luffy leave. I was convinced he was there for him, but clearly not. And he brought up Sky Island from before.
ワンピースもそうさ。必ず存在する。
And now he's just brought up arguably the most important part of the whole story like it's no big deal.
待て。今は彼の邪魔はせん方がええ。
One of my favourite songs being mixed with a truly badass moment incoming.
ジェットピストル
I think the most awesome part of that was that he actually took on the full hit and stayed on his feet. That's how much stronger he is now. And of course, this attack.
助けちゃって所長
I totally get it. Moving on.
黒ひげだな。いかにもそうだ。
I am feeling dangerous levels of hype right now. Obviously, this won't be over so quickly, but it was great to see that they hadn't expected such a large and quick attack right off the bat. I don't even care! You could totally get another one for seeing him in so much pain from the poison, and I'm left wondering what the heck's even going on right now?
なんという無残な姿に。すぐ手当てをしてやれ。はっ。
One more again, as he's still maintaining order on pretty much every level he can, including giving treatment to his number 2.
俺の後任はお前しかいないんだ。
Equally as awesome is that in spite of everything, he actually very much wants him to take his job one day. Man, I've learned so much about these guys during this arc that I never expected. 2 wins. Firstly, of course, that badass scream. Secondly, it's the huge animated crowd shot of them running. And another started 2 on the bounce. 1, him being able to move the same way as Crocodile, but even faster seemingly. And lastly, it makes for a hell of a finale to the video too. I loved it. Now off to tackle farming life in another world, and then back for part 69. Steelers, Doggos for Lunch, GuruThor, Emerald Ember, JHeart25, Juice, Chrono, TheSwedishMuggle, Marcelus the Roman, Nexus 47, Admiral Nugget, Moody Blues, Kody Tiffany, Timothy Wilcox, Curtis Daniels Jr., Tomo Sandy, Henrik Jessen, Tide Wes, David Frericks, Flaming Blade, Olive Wharf, Furious Mo, Marlon Endriss, Salt Lover, Jokerims, Rimuru, Gamer Ludwig, Onks Khalif, Mushwin, Don, Robert Jackson, Sakomi Aurorum, Starkip, Dante's Face, Miran Arjan, Cody Niemeyer, Snowy, Sarcastic Truth, Hit of the Wicked, Thrasher 340, Owen Haloran, Extinct Hero, Alexander Schwartz, Dante Soul, Rodies, Dragon Boy 1, Iso, Cameron, Modavirum, Tiger Lily Warrior, Knuckle Duster, Krystian Czuchta, Matthew Barr, Ruby Rose, Ghost Rider 176, Commander Cyrus, Cloud Garden, Luis Minito, Minimasher, Garrett Vermish, Ryan DeViris, Natsu Dragnil, A Joker, Willyman, Laxor, TRS, Liam Gagati, Kai158, Mr. Firecool, Wacky Normal, Zions44, Lionel Schultz, Kevin Elston, Nozomi, Nick Monaco, Marvin, Sataiku Yari, Divikel, Christopher Willis, Michael Lewis, Cecilia, Nick Wyndham, Slazel, Guru, Cedric, Kevin 102, Sean, Darth Weirdo, Dragonstorm 35, Cumfreak, Kelnock, Marquez, Q Flash, Brainless Ben, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Your Edvinson, Kepan, Kyle Jones, Peter Milligan, John, The Elementator Wars, Amadillo, Nick Pell, Orkeeper, Jason Davies, Nightly Winter, Matthew Bluntset, Oscar I. Lopez, Jaffa6263, Storm 970, Isel Caldera, Kevin Nalter, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Stan, Ali 50, Bird Without a Word, Chris Harris, 1928, Headshot Hunter, Brandon Creer,